Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to begin again with a word of prayer. Our gracious Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for what you are teaching us in this class. And Lord, I just thank you that even though some of the things are not necessarily directly from the Bible, Lord, you are the one that made our bodies. And Lord, I just pray that you'll help us to know how to properly care for them, because you are the one that made them, and you know what's right. And there's so many conflicting things being said out there in the world, and we need to hear from you and what you say about how we should treat our bodies. And I just thank you for these things now. In Jesus' name, amen. Well, today I decided I didn't have a lot of time to prepare this week.
Well, you didn't do anything this weekend.
I'm sorry. It was my tax week, one of my tax weeks. I got to finish it up this week, but so I just was up here and that stuff. So we are going to talk about some of the benefits of water fasting today. But before we get into that, there's a little clip here that I had, and I just thought this was something to think about. So it says the battle space for World War III is inside your brain. Shocking revelations about the globalist attack on neurogenesis. So it's astonishing. I have a bombshell interview for you today, and we're not going to do the interview, and I didn't listen to it. I haven't listened to any of this. They're so long. I don't have time to listen to it. If there's a printout, sometimes I'll do this, but this is all he had printed out. He's interviewing a Dr. Michael Nehis, or maybe that's an L. Maybe it's Nels, I don't know, who visited my studio all the way from Germany with an urgent message for human freedom. The globalist assault on humanity is targeting a specific region in your brain called the hippocampus. This cluster of cells is capable of neurogenesis at any age. What is neurogenesis? Anyone have an idea?
Killing off your
making your brain cells.
Forming new nerves.
New nerves. What does Genesis have? What does that mean? Beginning. It's a new beginning. It's able to regrow, regenerate, redo all of these for your nerves.
Reinventing the way it shouldn't be.
Well, neurogenesis is good. Okay, neurogenesis is good.
Oh.
Okay, that's what we want. Note the term genesis, because the satanic globalists are attacking this genesis with neurodestruction.
Ooh. Yeah.
Okay, they're going the opposite way.
I was thinking genocide.
Oh, that's probably why my sister-in-law has Guillain-Barré now.
That's very possible. Okay, by destroying or inhibiting your neurogenesis, they can alter your personality and make you more obedient and docile, shutting down your reason, creativity, and individuality. The spike protein, neurogenesis, is what happens in the hippocampus.
That was a good thing.
That is. The other one that's bad is the neurodestruction.
I bet what you're reading sounds bad.
Well, they're attacking the neurogenesis, is what it's saying. Okay. Is they're going after that. They don't want that happening because that's the good thing, and they want to destroy that in your brain.
So is that linking into last week, 5G and all of that? Is that where you're going?
Yes, kind of. Okay. Yeah, partly. Okay, so that's what they want. They want to destroy what God created in there for your brain to repair itself and do all of those things. They want to get rid of that so that when they shut this down, you will become more obedient and docile. They'll shut down your reason, your creativity, and your individuality, and you will just do whatever they say. That's what they want. Okay? Okay, so I have one more sentence here. The spike protein bioweapons specifically target the hippocampus region of the brain, destroying the nerve clusters that make you more human. Where are those spike proteins found?
Chaps.
We've heard that before. Where are they found?
No. They're from the foreign immunization.
Right, from those immunizations.
Jabs. Well,
They create those spike proteins, and that's what's destroying this good part of our thing. It's not the only thing that's doing it. We learned last week about the EMPs. That's another thing that's doing that. It's hitting that front part, the hippocampus of our brain. But this is another thing. Those
They're not immunizations.
no, but they're calling them immunizations.
It's the MR.
That they
RNA,
create
messenger
spike
RNA.
proteins that do this, and that's one of the things that does this. But I didn't, like I said, I did not listen to the interview because they're well over an hour, and I don't have that kind of time.
and some of them are really detailed with scientific terms.
Yeah, but anyway, just to be aware,
Yeah,
we're
it's not
being
just the
attacked.
vaccines though.
Right,
Because
it's
I
not
was
just the
studying
vaccines.
other things, and even the unvaccinated. Okay, so they were putting
Right.
people under ultraviolet lights, and the vaccinated's just face just lit up like a light bulb. But the unvaccinated even are their
Yes.
nostril, around their nostril, and their lips lit up.
From the
Just
shedding.
so-
The
yeah.
shedding.
Yeah, from the shedding, So, yeah, they're not the only ones that can get it, but it is a bioweapon.
Yeah.
It is a bioweapon. So, we're switching subjects now, okay? Off of that,
Wow.
okay?
Just started talking. Okay,
She just started talking.
I can't feel on his face of that.
I'm gonna read, I have some articles here that were written by a Dr. Edward Group. Has anyone heard of him?
Root?
Group, Group. Okay.
I think so.
The first I heard about him, he was one of the presenters on, have you heard of Truth About Cancer?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, is he's hooked up with,
Ty Bollinger?
yeah, there you go.
Yes. He's one of the ones that was a presenter on there. So I have some articles that he has written on fasting that we're gonna cover today.
What was his name again? I'm sorry.
Dr. Edward Group. A fascinating thing about him, I listened to him tell how he got into this. And he was all trained as allopathic medicine. And just before he graduated, he had one of his good friends, they used to joke back and forth. And his friend was into naturopathic, and he was into the allopathic. And we would joke back and forth. And then one day, his friend, just before he graduated, gave him this challenge. He says, "You're challenging me because you don't know, you don't understand, But he says, look at every single drug out there. It all has negative side effects. Everything does. But the natural can be used for a lot of different things that don't have all those horrible side effects." And he said he went to the library and started doing research, and it totally changed the direction of his life in doing that research and realizing how awful what he had been trained in was not right. And so he changed, and he became a DC, I think that's a doctor of chiropractic, right? He changed and didn't go into the field that he had planned on going into. So,
It's osteopathic. It includes homeopathy and that AYURVETA and are you heard? Yeah, all of that.
Okay, and DC doesn't have to be a DO.
right,
They can be
Yeah,
separate.
yeah.
entities.
And my daughter-in-law has a case of oils that they do a lot, they go to an naturopath.
Uh-huh.
And she'll tell me, this is the oil you need to go get for such and such. And her kids weren't always well. I mean, she would use the special oils for certain things. I'm like, wow.
So I'm going to read some of this, and I have not read this in a while because I was so busy this week I didn't get a chance to reread it, but I'm just going to go over some of this because it answers some of our questions, like what is water fasting? What are some of the benefits of it? And some of those. So I'm going to, and how to perform it. How do you do it? And so we're going to go through some of that, and then I've got some successful tips. And if we get that far, I've got another one that's on the different stages of fasting. What happens in a body at the different stages of a fast, because there's so many different types of fast, and he kind of goes through what happens in the body at those different stages. So we'll see how far we get today, okay? While fasting has been part of the human culture for thousands of years, only recently have we begun to investigate the therapeutic benefits of the practice. Interestingly, modern science has found a variety of verifiable positive effects fasting has on human health. So what is water fasting? Water fasting is known as a water cleanse. It's a type of fasting in which you consume only water for a set period of time. Many cleansing diets are referred to as fasts, but in water fasting, you take in 0 calories. It's distinct from calorie restriction, in which a person's daily caloric intake is reduced by 20 to 40%. That's a calorie restriction one. Of course, in the long term, it's impossible to live on water alone. Your body can't function without calories and nutrients. They're the batteries and building blocks of life. However, a carefully planned short-term water fast can help reset certain biological processes and reinvigorate your health. He has an interviewer that I'm not going to go into, but you can watch it if you want to, and I've got the information here. Is water fasting safe? And he goes into it, but it's a 93-minute thing, so I wasn't going to show it today. We could do that at a future time if that's something you guys would like. It would have to be split up into 2 different sessions, but we could do that if that's something you would like. The most common question people ask about water fasting is why? Why would you voluntarily subject yourself to hunger and nutritional deprivation? There are many reasons to fast. Some people do it for religious and spiritual reasons, others to raise awareness for a cause. However, there are also well-established health benefits to fasting. Intermittent fasting, that's become a thing that's been so popular, hearing a lot about lately. It encourages weight loss, reduces body fat, lowers blood pressure and heart rate, and may even reduce the risk of serious conditions. In the early days of humanity, fasting was the norm. Before the invention of agriculture, we were all hunter-gatherers. We ate what we could, when we could. Grabbing a snack from the fridge whenever our stomachs rumbled was not an option. They didn't have refrigerators back then. Survival required that we adapt to occasional food shortages. And I'm not going to read that last sentence there, in that paragraph. Well, the health benefits of water fasting. Fasting isn't just a way to demonstrate faith and devotion. There are health benefits to fasting as well. One is weight loss. The benefits that interest most people is weight loss. While it may seem obvious that not eating will lead to less body fat, let's take a closer look at exactly how water fasting can help. Ketosis is the state in which your body begins using energy from your internal fat stores instead of food. Water fasting helps your body reach ketosis more quickly than dieting. When you refrain from eating calories, your body is forced to burn fat cells for energy. Another benefit is that it can slow aging. While we know that no force on earth can halt or reverse the aging process, it is certainly true that some people age more gracefully than others. Animal studies have found that intermittent fasting can extend lifespan by up to 80% over control groups. In humans, fasting has been found to reduce oxidative damage and inflammation. Another benefit is improved cell recycling. Cell recycling. Our cells, every cell in our body, God has programmed it to have a lifespan. Some are very short lifespans, others are very long lifespans. And then they come to the point where they're supposed to die. And that is called apoptosis, when the cell is supposed to die, okay? what they're finding out what cancer is when the cells don't die when they're supposed to.
And they don't go away.
Right, they don't go away, they keep replicating themselves, and once they're damaged, they reproduce damaged cells. And that's what cancer is. Instead of dying when it's supposed to, it keeps replicating. the
What's that
damage.
term called again? What's your that term?
Apoptosis.
Spell it.
Just like cells.
Apoptosis.
TOSIS.
Okay, apoptosis.
SP question mark or parentheses.
Okay.
Okay, so little tiny. She writes tiny.
Yeah, she has good eyes, she can read it. Okay. Next one is improved cell recycling. Autophagy is the body's normal, natural process for recycling unnecessary and dysfunctional components. So when those cells die, they have to be eliminated from the system. And so autophagy is the body's natural way of getting them out of the system. Water fasting forces your system into the autophagic state. The severely reduced caloric intake, your body is forced to be more selective in which cells it protects. This means that fasting can encourage your body's natural healing mechanisms to actively destroy and recycle those damaged tissues, which may have a positive effect on several serious conditions. There is beautiful anecdotal evidence from people who claim that water fasting helped them overcome debilitating disorders. Current research backs up many of these claims. Animal studies have found that alternate day fasting caused a major reduction in the incidence of cancer and metabolic syndrome. Rodents placed on an intermittent fast had fewer incidences of neurological disorders. So those are all good benefits.
What about kidney and liver function?
It probably has those too. This doesn't specifically mention that here too, but I really believe it would help with those two. One reason it would help with the kidney and the liver is because you're not bringing in all of the extra stuff that they have to process. It's just the water.
And remember, those are the two big organs that are the first to die.
Uh-huh.
So you want to keep
They're your
first line.
body's cleanser systems.
Yeah.
Okay, water cells and human health, new breakthroughs. Of course, your body needs water for hydration, but there is more to it than that. Yes, there is, according to Dr. Gerald H. Pollack, a professor at bioengineering at the University of Washington in Seattle. Dr. Pollack and his team have made some discoveries that challenge our current understanding of water. They found that water behaves oddly within living cells. Close to the cell membrane, water organizes itself in a series of gel-like layers rather than a completely fluid solution. Dr. Pollack calls this exclusion zone, EZ water. And it's not the H2O you're familiar with. EZ water is H3O2.
Mm-hmm.
So it has an extra hydrogen and an extra oxygen of one of each. The three hydrogen atoms bonded to two oxygen atoms. So what does this mean for water fasting? Well, the reason this is called the exclusion zone is because it excludes things like contaminants and impurities. EZ water holds a negative charge and pushes contaminants away from itself.
EZ, each of the letters.
I have some bottles.
Standing for, what would we say it was? Exclusion zone, EZ.
I have some cups coming where you push a button and it does that. You push it for like 3 minutes and it does something to the oxygen, and it pushes the oxygen in the water, so you're automatically drinking the oxygen.
That might not be that because this also adds hydrogen. So it's not
Yeah.
necessarily the same thing, okay?
That's oxygenated
Yeah.
water.
This discovery may have serious implications for cell signaling and detoxification, but more research needs to be done before we fully understand the connection. So, how to perform a water fast? When fasting, planning is crucial. If you've never done a fast before, you shouldn't just start a 30-day water cleanse this afternoon. There is a right way to do any cleansing diet. Fasting can be done safely, but it can also cause harm if done incorrectly. I recommend consulting with a trusted healthcare provider before performing any fast. First thing, drink high-quality water. When performing a water fast, it's more important than ever to only consume fresh, clean, high-quality water. The effect of any contaminants in your water will only be magnified with no food in your stomach.
Mhm.
I recommend you drink only distilled water during your fast. If you can also drink filtered water, if you have a very good filtration system, but distillation goes further than filtration and removes any harmful organisms or chemicals. Back at the other side. Okay. The most crucial step in any fast is to arrange your schedule. If possible, take time off work for the duration of the cleanse. Choose a length of time for your water fasting diet. Fasts can be done for any length of time up to about a month. But 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10-day water fasts are the most common. Start small. If this is your first diet, try a 24 or a 3-day fast. Don't start with a 21-day, okay? If you perform any long fast longer than 5 days, or you're fasting to alleviate serious conditions, consider a supervised water fast. Many people choose a supervised fast because it offers a controlled environment, a team of professionals to make sure all goes well, and fellow fasters are emotional support. A fasting clinic can do tests to find the best fast for you, monitor your health during the fast, and help you ease your transition back to solid foods. Before you get started, let's go over a few precautions. You should not perform a fast if you are pregnant or lactating. A developing child is just too sensitive to nutritional deficiencies. Likewise, anyone with type 1 diabetes should choose a different type of detox fast. Fasting works best for people who are 20 pounds or more overweight. If you're less than this, you can still try fasting, but plan a shorter duration for your first fast, okay? Because you're going to be eating up fat stores. Is what it's going to go to if you do a long fast, okay? And if you're already if you don't have very much fat stores, it's going to quickly eat them up, okay? So what should you expect during the water fast? Fasting is a time for rest, not exertion. Don't plan on running a marathon during your fast. You shouldn't even go to the gym. Your body will want to sleep more than usual. Let it. Listen to your body. You may need 12 hours or more of sleep each night and naps during the day. Do not be alarmed. This is part of the process. Relax and embrace it. Drink 2 to 3 quarts of water every day. Don't drink it all at once. Space it out over the course of the day to keep you properly hydrated and increase satiety, or however you pronounce it.
Satiety.
That's it. I'm just not getting it out right now. I won't lie. The first couple of days are going to be tough. They are. You will likely experience some unpleasant symptoms like hunger, irritability, headaches, or disorientation. Fortunately, your body is resilient and you should quickly adapt. You should start feeling better around day 3 or 4. Many people even report a feeling of euphoria at this point. Let's see. Water fasting tips and tricks. Okay, we're gonna get into that in a little bit here. Some of it says read it. Well, I've got it here to read, but I'm gonna finish this first before we go on to that. Books are a faster's best friend. When fasting, it's important to both rest your body and keep your mind occupied. Now would be a good time to catch up on your reading. Reading is a fantastic low-energy way to keep your mind engaged. Be realistic about your goals. Why are you doing this cleanse? To help a particular health issue? To lose weight? Set simple, clear, achievable goals. Meditation reinforces willpower and promotes a healthy connection between body and mind. Many people find that meditating can be a great way to help control cravings and strengthen resolve. Others report the feeling of hunger distracted them from meditation. Find what works best for you. But like we're trying to do is fasting and prayer and spending that time with the Lord, Bible reading, meditation, all of those things. After the fast, when you must resist the urge to overindulge, especially in the first few days. While you may dream of gorging yourself, your rebooted digestive system simply cannot handle it yet. If you've gone on a 40-day fast with no food, you cannot sit down to a 64-ounce steak. You will not make it. It will just be lead. Your body is not used to digesting it. At this point, rich foods could cause you severe discomfort or possibly serious complications. Instead, break your fast slowly. Start by drinking only juices and detox waters, then broths, and gradually add in solid foods. You can do this over the course of a day if you performed a very short fast, but for fasts of 3 to 7 days, wait at least 24 hours before reintroducing your system to solid foods. Breaking the fast can be a multi-day process for fasts longer than that. Fasting is a great way to reset your system and experience fantastic health benefits, but it's not a way to cheat basic biology. Don't expect to live a life of overindulgence and let the occasional water detox cancel out the damage, okay? Rather, fasting is just one part of an overall healthy lifestyle. Other lifestyle choices you must make include eating plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables, exercising regularly, getting plenty of rest, effectively managing stress, and avoiding environmental toxins. Use your fast as an opportunity to abandon bad habits and add new healthy habits to your routine. Finally, if you decide that fasting isn't for you, that's fine. There are many different ways to detox. Find a method of deep cleansing that suits you and make it part of your healthy lifestyle. So that's a little bit of that. Then he talked about the tips. So I pulled up his page on the tips. Yes.
Does he mention the need for, in my case, does he mention the need for salt with the water to go into the cellular level?
It's mentioned in something I was reading this week, but I'm not sure if it was in this or not.
Okay, because I know for me.
Sodium is very important.
Yeah, a little
it
bit.
is one of the major things, and people think, oh, I gotta eliminate salt. They tell me for my heart, get rid of salt. And my first real understanding of this wasn't until we had, what's her name? Janet in our church, and she kept ending up in the hospital dehydrated, and they have to pump her with sodium, get sodium. She's low on sodium because she'd be dehydrated, but she was always drinking. She always had a bottle of something, and she was always drinking, but she got low on sodium, and they had to keep getting sodium into her system.
Who is Jan?
Janet's been gone for many years now.
Janet, not Jan.
Where's Jan? I'm sorry.
Florida? She's in Florida.
Oh, no.
Jan Ross, Jan Rhodes?
Jan.
No, Jan Taylor?
Jan Taylor, yeah.
I haven't seen her in a while.
She's got some personal things going on.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah. So, anyway.
Salt with your water is supposed to help with some of the headaches that you might have.
Yeah.
Right, is to help the body
Uh-huh.
receive the water at the cellular level.
You don't want a lot of it, but
No, like,
but all the research I'm reading is, they say, don't stop the salt, but drink it to taste. It should not taste salty to you, okay? You don't want it where it tastes salty, but you want to flavor your foods or whatever with some salt, okay? So it's always to taste, but it should not taste, oh wow, that was salty.
I forget to use salt. My sodium levels for me, for my blood count, like is normal. My sodium is down here.
Yes.
And so I have to compensate with other things for my B vitamins instead of folic acid. I have
So
other things.
getting some good sodium in there is important. Okay, so tips now. A fasting diet is a nutritional therapy involving either full or partial caloric restriction. There are many ways you can prepare yourself for a fast. In this article, I'll give you the tips and tricks that will help you successfully reach your fasting goals, such as healthy habits, nutrition, and hunger management. Make things easy on yourself from the very beginning. First, make sure you do your research into fasting, especially if you're aiming for a specific health benefit. Not all fasts have the same results, so choose your fast carefully to achieve your goals. Before embarking on your fast, speak with your trusted healthcare provider about your plans. They'll be able to advise you if any medications or supplements you take will need to be adjusted for the fast. So here's some tips to get you through a fast. Set clear boundaries before beginning. 2, get a head start on any new projects before starting your fast. 3, begin fasting on Friday afternoon. I don't know why, but maybe because he thinks of the work week that you'll have the weekend off and you can relax and stuff like that. Maybe that's what he thinks.
To help your
It doesn't
resistance.
quite work for me because we do more work on the weekends. It seems like that. So anyway, prepare yourself emotionally for hunger and irritability. Expect it, okay? Don't overcommit to social engagements during the duration of your fast. Drink plenty of water or tea. Complete any chores the night before to make mornings easier. Take naps during your lunch breaks. Go easy on your workouts. Try indulging in a hobby you don't normally have time for to keep busy,
Jigsaw puzzle.
or something, yeah. Go to bed earlier. Those are all tips that he has. So some more things here. Establish clear, measurable goals. With any new routine or healthy habit, it's important to set measurable goals instead of vague, undefined objectives. Assign a number to the goal. Pick a percentage, duration, length, or reading on a ketone strip. You'll get a big boost in your sense of accomplishment once you make it. If not, you'll be able to alleviate how close you got to it, giving a new milestone for the next time. When fasting, your goal might be to go a set amount of time without breaking the fast. It might be losing body fat or experiencing the clear thinking associated with fasting. Fasting can also be helpful to kickstart new dietary habits, such as eliminating particular foods or removing them temporarily so that you can identify which foods are causing digestive concerns, headaches, or other health concerns. Set your goals ahead of time. Next, know yourself. Despite the many benefits, fasting is still challenging. If you're irritable when you're hungry, expect to be the same when you fast, only slightly worse. For the first 2 to 3 days, you'll likely experience some negative sensations, and your mood may suffer as a result. Initially, intense hunger is normal, but this feeling quickly fades. Your body and its hormones quickly adjust to lower caloric intake. You may find the mild discomfort of hunger pales in comparison to the effects on your mood. Some people report feeling shaky, weak, dizzy, or just generally out of sorts while their body adjusts. Prepare yourself mentally for these sensations. Interestingly, after a few days, many people report feeling a surge of energy and even elation. Feelings may change throughout the fast. Your feelings will affect how you respond to situations and interact with other people. Stay aware of your mental state throughout your fast and do what's necessary to steer yourself toward a more positive experience for yourself and those around you. So, in other words, if you expect that it's going to cause you some irritability, know that when you're interacting with other people, you might be coming across that way. So do things to try to maybe go the other way to make sure you're not being irritable when you're talking with people. When you speak with others, try to acknowledge that any crankiness is due to fasting reactions rather than the person or project you're currently working on. If you feel irritable, compose yourself by breathing deeply and try meditating to reflect on your emotional state. Next, get a jump on work. The first few days will be the toughest, so prepare yourself so that your days run as smoothly as possible. To compensate, try to get ahead on any projects that require intense medical effort in the days leading up to your fast. The best practice is preparing as though you'll be slightly dazed for the first 2 to 3 days. Stress and fasting are not a good pair, so try to make up for any heavy mental lifting early by getting ahead of it. That way you can relax and you'll be able to dial it back a little and take the pressure off for the first few days. Next, detox your diet. 2 weeks before your fast, eliminate the food you crave the most. If you have a particular weakness for soda or fries, cut these from your diet well before you begin fasting. Cravings for specific foods are normal, but when you're fasting, you won't be able to satisfy them. To dispel their power over you, try cutting these kinds of foods or 2 before fasting.
Chocolate and coffee.
Yep. Tidy up the home. Losing your shoes, misplacing your keys, or not having something to wear are some of those daily frustrations that you can easily avoid with some timely preparation. When you're fasting, these kinds of frustrations can feel a lot worse. Plan for them to make your mornings easier. Before you fast, complete your chores. Pick up your daily cleaning. Pick up your dry cleaning. Pay any bills due soon. Wash and fold your laundry. Make sure all the walkways in your home are clear of tripping hazards. As you fast, you might begin to feel floaty and euphoric, so try to be diligent about putting your belongings where they need to go. Okay, next, overcoming obstacles while fasting. Now that you know what to expect, here is a little primer on overcoming the obstacles that arise while you're fasting. Drink water to manage hunger. Cravings are one of the most significant obstacles when you're just starting your fast. It may begin to feel like an uphill battle with little incentive to keep going. You may notice that your sense of smell is heightened when you're fasting. Fortunately, most people only feel this intense cravings for the first 72 hours. Hunger and thirst are often confused, and while this might not be the case on day 2 or your fast, filling up on water can help alleviate some feelings of hunger. Warm, fragrant herbal teas are another excellent option to quiet a grumbling stomach. If you're not on a strict water fast, you can have clear broth or watered down juice to keep the energy up. Next, keep your fast to yourself. Among the many potential challenges that stand in your way are the people around you. Scientific research on fasting is not well known among the general populace, so you'll likely meet with resistance if you tell anyone that you're fasting for health purposes. Friends and family might not approve, and they may try to talk you out of it, especially if they're unfamiliar with the concept. Most people equate fasting with starving and immediately dismiss the merits of the practice. Of course, you can show your naysayers the many studies on the benefits of fasting, but you may not be able to change their mind. Your best diet is only telling the people who need to know. This list includes your partner, your healthcare provider, and maybe your immediate supervisor. Okay? And then I guess these are kind of along the same lines as the ones we already went over. Start your fast before a weekend. Since the first 2 or 3 days are the toughest, try timing your fast to begin on a Friday after lunch or whenever your free days are from work. This way, the most difficult initial days will be at a time when you don't have to deal with work, traffic, or the scent of donuts wafting from the break room.
Avoid cops.
Get plenty of rest. Expect to feel tired initially. Your body is adjusting and you'll likely feel drained both emotionally and in terms of energy. Treat yourself to a good night's rest. Take cat naps during the day if you can. Go easy at the gym. Take it easy on your workouts. Fat metabolizes much more slowly than carbohydrates and protein. So your best bet to spare muscle while fasting is an easy walk or a restorative yoga class. Don't do one of those high-intense interval trainings. Sorry. Next, coping with boredom. Without all the meal prep, cleansing, and cleaning and eating, you might have extra time on your hands. To avoid giving in to that initial hunger, fill your time with something you don't normally have time to do. And that's one reason. Good time is spending it with the Lord, right? Spending it with the Lord. And he recommends things here like knitting, sewing, reading, woodworking, journaling, all kinds of things that you can do. Find something you look forward to doing to keep your mind off eating. Then, next, take a nap. Meal times might be difficult, but don't hesitate to skip out and take a power nap. If you're at work, try taking a short siesta in your car or in a quiet room. You'll wake up feeling refreshed and ready to take on the rest of the day. Remind yourself of your goals. If you find yourself trying to rationalize breaking your fast earlier than planned, stop and reflect on why you wanted to begin the fast with. Why you wanted to fast to begin with. That said, make sure to listen to your body. If you begin to feel ill or very weak, don't put off breaking your fast out of stubbornness or competition. Don't try to do more than your body can handle. You can always try again at another time. Okay? Keep your energy levels up. Fasting can leave you feeling depleted in more ways than one. In addition to staying hydrated, you might also consider supplementing with B vitamins to recoup some of your energy. B12 is especially one of those good ones to help with the energy. On strict water fasts, you will not want to take supplements, but if you are doing a juice fast, you can take them. Either way, replenishing nutrients is critical after you end your diet, after you end the fast. And we're almost done here. Breaking your fast. Breaking your fast properly is critical. The first foods you feed your body after fasting determine how successful you are at maintaining the progress you've made. Don't undermine all the progress by breaking your fast with unhealthy, starchy, greasy, or fried foods. When you're coming out of your fast, stay away from sugary foods. The ideal first meal would be something like juice or vegetable broth. After a day or more on juices or broths, try introducing fruit like watermelon or a small mixed green salad with healthy fats, a drizzle of full fat salad dressing. This will help you refamiliarize your body with solid foods without overwhelming it. Ideally, the foods you eat in the transition period between fasting and eating normally should be the kinds of things that you would eat on a cleanse. This includes raw, fibrous vegetables, watery soups, nuts, seeds, and ancient grains mixed with raw or steamed vegetables. Start incorporating fruit back into your diet 1 to 2 days after breaking the fast. Fruits contain a lot of sugar, so try sticking with low glycemic fruits like cherries, coconut meat, watermelon, avocados, and blueberries. Then lasting changes after fasting. Think of breaking your fast as the chance to upgrade your lifestyle. Fasting is not only one of the best ways to activate your body's self-healing process, but it also resensitizes your palate to suitable flavors. You'll find that foods that were once bland or uninteresting are now bursting with flavor. This is your opportunity to structure your diet around nutrient-dense foods, bursting with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that are essential to your health. Eat meals built around foods that you aspire to desire. Try this is one, I don't know what this is, celeriac.
It's the root of it, it's
The
celery root.
Oh, okay. Why didn't you just say celery root? I know what that is. Kale juice or smoothie bowls. All of these, those beautiful healthy things
Wait a
that
minute.
you would eat.
Did they just say kale juice?
That's what this said.
I tried juicing kale, that was nastiest event.
Anyway, healthy things that you would eat if you only had the time and inclination. And before long, you will crave them. If you want to learn more, he's got another guide to different kinds of fasting, which we can talk about at a different time. And I'm not going to go into the next one. There's another one I have here. I think we'll cover it next week. The different stages of fasting. And I'll probably pull up this article on the different types of fasting. So we'll cover those things next week. But I think that's enough for us to handle for today, because I don't want to get started with this and not have time to finish it. So.
What's the date? Today's 18th. I know, today's 18th. I see a nutritionist.
Any questions? Did that totally overwhelm you?
No, that's about the most notes I've ever taken.
Has anybody ever, I've fasted before, has anybody else tried fasting for whatever reason?
Well, it depends on, we all fast at different times, but,
Yeah.
it depends on how long. I have never done an extended fast.
I went without food for 10 days, but I was like super dizzy.
I don't, it's possible I've gone longer than a 1 day diet, but fast, but I don't know for sure.
And my mom found out because I
So-
almost passed out in the shower.
Yeah. So anyway,
She got mad at me.
Yeah, I think I did either 5 or 7 day fast for a reason.
yeah.
And I've done the,
If you want the links to this, I can send you the article, and it's got the link for the video on here if you want to watch that, or we can try doing that at a later date or something.
I kind of like the link.
You'd like it? Okay. I can send you this article.
I think one of the things that I haven't done long term, but one of the things that helps sometimes is the step where you said, remind yourself of your goals.
Right.
It's like, why am I doing this? Because, sometimes you go, well, it's not going to make a difference if you do this or that.
And that it's not a competition,
Right.
that
Well, and one of mine was because in the standard American diet, we eat a lot of carbs. And too many carbs could, you could develop type 2 diabetes. So I wanted to improve my insulin response.
Mhm.
So that was one of my goals. It's not something I can measure.
Other than with your A1C or with some of those things, you can
Right.
see what it's doing there. But yeah, I know years ago I did one where the doctor wanted to get me off all sugars, and so I had to go off sugar and fruit, anything, and I did it for 6 months. And like I said, the first 3 or 4 days were miserable. Because it was especially up in my head. I was getting headaches and lightheadedness and couldn't think clearly. But then after that was over, I had no problems at all. People would be eating fruit and sugar and stuff around me, and I had no problems avoiding it. It was not hard after that. Until I reintroduced it to my system, and then it just like, all those cravings came back again.
Just like alcoholics.
Yep.
It comes back more.
Yeah.
Intense.
That is, in my personal feelings, I have no proof for this, but I've often thought that if I had been inclined to alcohol, that I would have become an alcoholic because of the troubles I have with sugar, of what it does to me, that probably I would have. I'm not gonna try proving it or whatever, that's just my feelings.
Well, there is some basis for that, because if you go to any AA meeting, I read this, what will they have there? They have coffee and donuts most of the time, because so many alcoholics, they substitute one sin, if you will, for another.
We just had coffee.
I used to be celiac, and I ignored it. And then I started having respiratory issues, more so with asthma started coming on and all of that. It was because and then I had these different blood tests and different things, and I was allergic to wheat, but I refused to accept it because wheat is the staff of life. And I worked at a ski resort, and I was in cold weather, and my asthma was getting really bad. And I did the Ezekiel bread and different things, but anyhow, the point is, I eventually did do totally wheat-free and other things, with grasses and so forth. But it doesn't take much. Just a tiny little bit of wheat can set me off. A little tiny bit of soy can set me off. And no matter what it is, if you know it's wrong and you bring it in, it can set you off. Whether it's alcohol, whatever your sugar, whatever it happens to be.
I like them noodles that are bad for you, the cup of noodle things, but I don't eat the cup of noodle one, but the other ones that have like spice in it, and it has a lot of soy in it, and that's bad for people with a slow thyroid. But I still like them.
Glutamate is in those.
Huh?
Monosodium glutamate.
Oh, it's bad.
Is in those.
That can be a natural flavor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That is. Was it you that was asking about what natural
Yeah,
flavors?
because I was just, the Constant Common, I took one sip and what's going on with Constant Common tea?
Oh, it has something, it says natural flavors.
Natural flavor.
Who knows what that is? They really,
They
you don't know.
changed that, yeah.
So, well, let's just close here with a word of prayer. Lord, I just thank you for these ladies. Lord, I just thank you for their desire to put you first in their lives. And Lord, I just pray that you would honor any fasting that we do to draw closer to you, and that you would help us to do it wisely, whether it's a short one-day fast or intermittent fasting or a long-term fast, whatever it is, that we would do it to honor and glorify you. And that, yes, there are health benefits, but Lord, the main reason is that we want to honor you and to draw close to you. And I just thank you for that. And Lord, I just pray that you would honor each for their desire to draw close to you. And I thank you for this now, in Jesus' name.
Did you say you have one of the Lost Love? Cindy?
Huh?
Did you say you have the book? What is
Yes.
Lost Love? Could I borrow it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Again.
This is